Hey everyone, it's Albie. Welcome back to my channel. I have another fun review for you today. I finished Julia Quinn's latest release, which is a graphic novel that she published with her late sister, Violet Charles. And this is Miss Butterworth and the Mad Baron. So I first became acquainted with this story when reading It's in His Kiss, which is book 7 in the Bridgerton series. And although I haven't read them, they are mentioned in the Smythe Smith series, which I do have one of those, and then another, the Bruckenstroke series. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, but there's another sort of Bridgerton related series that also features the story of Miss Butterworth and the Mad Baron. So I think I've said it before, but I was an English major. Well, I guess, yeah, I'm not currently in school, so I was an English major. And when I took, I believe it was 18th century literature. I don't think it was Victorian. It must have been 18th century literature. With my favorite teacher, we read a book called Pamela by Samuel Richardson. And that story, if you've read it, it's very polarizing because a lot of people hate that book. I actually really liked Pamela. But basically, to me, it was really similar to Miss Butterworth and the Mad Baron in a lot of ways. But, I mean, it's kind of a stretch, but I enjoyed it. And I thought if other people enjoyed Pamela by Richardson, Samuel Richardson, they might also make the connection. I don't know. Maybe that's where Julia Quinn got the idea for it. I'm not too sure. I know she went to Harvard, so maybe she read Samuel Richardson. I didn't go to Harvard, but I went to a nice school. You know, I digress. So anyway, I loved like it's not necessarily a Gothic romance, but it's like a lot of terrible things happen to Priscilla Butterworth. So our heroine is Priscilla Butterworth, and our hero is Baron Damien Savagewood, which I just love all the puns. I love Butterworth. I think it's so hilarious. And so poor Priscilla she's had a rough life. Basically her whole family is wiped out by the pox plague, and then her mother is sent to a beggar's prison. Her grandmother passes away from consumption, I think, and she's sent to an evil aunt with wicked cousins. She breaks her legs. I mean, she's having a rough time. If you've ever seen the movie Splash, I always think of Eugene Levy. He gets completely beat up in the end of that movie, like broken legs, and like he's trying to help a mermaid. Well, at first he's not, but you know, he's like, what a week I'm having. And Miss Butterworth, she's like, what a life I'm having. So she finds out, sadly, that her family wants to, like, as they would say on TikTok, unalive her. So she tries to sort of escape, and when she does, she gets lost and in the rainstorm and lands upon a large estate. And the butler, who is what was his name? Skellington, maybe? Skellington? And like the head maid are like, oh, are you here for the companionship job? And she's like, sure, yeah. Of course, let me come in, I'm cold. And so you find out that the Baron has an elderly grandmother who wants a new companion. She's mute from trauma, like she hasn't spoken since a traumatic event that happened. And she needs someone to read to her, help her, you know, sort of thing. If you know Little Women, basically an Aunt March, Joe / Amy situation. So there you go. So she takes the position, and she quickly becomes besmirked with Damien. And Damien's younger cousin returns, and he has issues with alcohol. He is a gambler, he's a rake, and just not such a great guy. And you find out that he and his quick companion / girlfriend Barbara want to send the Baron to an asylum so that they can get all of the money. So, you know, there's lots of cool things that happen in this story. There was humor, there was tragedy, there was romance, there was attempted murder, there was a ghost. So I would call, maybe it was a Gothic romance because there is a ghost. So yeah, I call it Gothic. And there's just lots of things I loved about the story. It's fully illustrated. I don't know how much I can show, but you know, there's some pictures. And I think I read this in about an hour, and I don't really speed read. I read quickly, but I don't read like speed fast. So it's a fun book. I enjoyed it. I think if you're a Bridgerton fan, you'll definitely love this story. The romance was super cute, and I just loved, like, the English major me really enjoyed all the, like, the Pamela influences, and that's, like, I'm not saying that is influence, but it just gave me joy to see that 18th century book was sort of being possibly revamped. But loved it. I look forward to actually reading the other books by Miss Quinn that have references to Miss Butterworth, because I loved All This Times and It's in His Kiss, where a certain individual is reading to another certain individual. I don't want to spoil It's in His Kiss for you because it's a fun one. I like that one a lot. But I just love the story. It was so cute. As it says on the cover, an irresistible treat for Bridgerton fans. I would agree with that. I got this on Amazon for $16, so a little less money. My Goodreads rating was a 5. My spice, I put 1. I don't think it had any, there was no sexual content. So, you know, like a 0. I would say that the triggers are loss of parents, loss of grandmother, gore, attempted murder, alcoholism, you know, mental stuff, because there's mentions of asylum, and any others. If I forget any, they'll be written in my description, but those were the main ones. I mean, it is kind of gory for a graphic novel. I was kind of surprised, but I mean, if you've read, like, I used to read Catwoman when I was a kid, so if you're used to, like, actual graphic novel comic books, nothing too new, but, you know, it can be a little much, especially pictures. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed my review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, as well as comment. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I'll Be Reading Romance. I want to say another trigger is in the author's note, not the story. You find out that Violet Charles, who was Julia Quinn's younger sister, she fatally died in a car accident by a drunk driver, along with Julia Quinn and her father, as well as Violet Charles's dog and her husband. So that's not in the story, but in the author's note at the end. So yeah, it's very tough, but I was happy to read this and support Julia Quinn, obviously, and her sister who's passed. But you find out in the author's note that this was sort of a love letter to her sister, and they really worked hard to put this story and this graphic novel into the world. And I'm so happy that she could honor her sister and her sister's memory in such a cool, tangible way. I mean, it's beautiful, and her illustrations are just charming. I absolutely love them. I kind of wish, like, oh, it's so hard to say, but, like, if she was still here, I would love illustrated covers of Bridgerton like this, more so than, like, the as they call them, like, the prom pictures they've been doing. But I just love, I mean, they're just so cute. They're just so cute, and, you know, they're such fun. Love the illustrations. So I just want to put that in the note because I almost forgot, but I wanted to make a quick point of that. So everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.